What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Vape Coach, and we are back again in your live, guys. Today we have a super stacked top 8 bracket, and Arn Kratos coming through with that juicy big raid. Thank you so much, Big Arn. But now, let me get to this bracket. It is going to be none other than GeeStar taking on BobDole, SpawnX taking on Phuneral, Eggshell taking on ZayPlatz, and Figg taking on Big Kaizen. And guys, let me get you to that match. Let's do it, let's roll, and let's go. Oh, Arn Kratos, man, we got to do an event together someday. Team Vape versus Team Arn. That is going to be cinema. However, GeeStar is going to be coming out with that and Ghostface representing TGF. BobDole, of course, going to be representing I Sweat. Let's do it. Let's go and let's roll. Absolutely, Arn. Absolutely. Hey, you got my DMs, man. You just message me and we'll figure it out. This is going to be game number 1. By the way, Phuneral, thank you so much for the follow. Yo, Ghost Carnage, what's going on? Shout out to this amazing chat. Great to see each and every one of you up here in the house. This place is going to be going crazy, but now GeeStar, he's going to be going a little bit of mixy mix. We're going aerial, just like this. And Dark Ninja, thank you so much for the follow as well. Welcome everybody to the stream. Holy moly, but GeeStar, he is going Omega mixy mix. We got to break away. However, that is going to be some beautiful armor coming from Sir BobDole. I Sweat going to be well represented. And Chad, he's trying to zone him out. How do you fight this? You got to go extra mix on him. By the way, Figg is saying love passion. I certainly do see it. Good stuff from Big BobDole. Trying to take back that life lead. Banish Brawl, what's going on, man? How's everything going? The event host himself, however, going to be trying to ball roll. GeeStar, though, he's aiming for the trees with that one. And Jiu-Jitsu Otter said this is going to be a vile set. Oh, you better believe it. Look at BobDole trying to zone out GeeStar. And a little bit of Call of Duty action, keeping everything safe. GeeStar is getting clipped. And now Sonya here to clean up some damage just like this. However, though, he is trying everything under the sun to take this man out. Holy moly. And there's some more armor. And that's going to be the round from Dole.
I am made.
And Chad Dole is coming out with an excellent game plan. He said, you know what? Is it going to be viewer friendly? We'll talk about it. But you know what? It is going to get damaged up. But here comes the G'st of stars. GeeStar now going to say, I'm not going to give you the chance to do it. We're going complete mixy mix. And stabs him right in the solar plex, the neck, the tremor pickup coming from GeeStar. And by the way, Moaz, great to see you, Figg in the building. Ghost Carnage, Jiu-Jitsu Water, and Big Arn coming through again with that raid. But we're not done in many ways. We are just getting started. However, though, that's going to be a beautiful call. It does not convert on those. It's down one. The overhead. Got to break away immediately now. It will be BobDole, who does not have meter. Overhead is going to be good. Beautiful pickup from Big Dole. And Dole now trying to light this place up like a Christmas tree. Beautiful whip punish coming from Dole. Holy moly, though. Let's see it, though. Let's see it, though. There's GeeStar. This should actually be the round, if I'm not incorrect. Throws him, and this is going to do it. GeeStar going to get some good corner position to go alongside it. We are all tied up. I got you, Rin. Don't even worry about it.
Final round. Fight.
All right, it's BobDole getting us immediately started, though, with some rocket pressure. Gonna get GeeStar in the corner. These overheads landing at will. Not able to pick that up, though. What do we do? And it's GeeStar trying to take his turn back, so using the armor is gonna be Dole. Dole is trying to get rid of this Ghostface. Does not want the serial killer here in this tournament no more. And going back down, going left, going right, and going center field. This is looking like disgusting pressure. Good defense from Dole. Oh, but that should be a punish. He gets a grab out of it. Hold the phone. Oh, and there's going to be a direct punish from GeeStar, who will be taking the lead. GeeStar throwing this one up into the air, throwing it up again. And GeeStar, what's the mix? He gets it. No, does not convert on it. Oh, either player. This is up for the taking for either one. And it looks like it's going to be Dole. Wait, he could have killed. And the overhead is still going to continue to nail GeeStar. A 1-0 score coming from Big Dole. And you know what? A little bit of a zoner affair early, but he was mixing it up in boxing range later on. BobDole going to be taking that 1-0 lead.
Sektor win.
All right, chat, that 1-0 score. By the way, I still believe predictions are up. You still got another couple seconds if you do want to bet on one of these two players. However, GeeStar going to need to come out with a different game plan. I do like the Ghostface tremor. However, it is going to need a little bit more work if it's going to take out this Sektor. Let's get you back to that match. And as always, a huge shout out to everybody tuning in. Thank you so much to this community for being here. And Elson, I think we're all good. I think everybody's here. We will soon find out. GeeStar now coming out. Let's see if he can build back a little bit of momentum, chat.
Sektor. Tremor.
However, though, this go-to community, you guys saw we had that women's tournament yesterday. It was the best event we've ever done. That is going to be a tough act to follow, but you know what? We are up to the task. Game number 2 is afoot.
Round 1. Fight.
All right, let's do it. Let's make it happen, and let's see which one of these two killers is going to be able to get it done. GeeStar, he knows the mission at hand. He is going to have to close that distance. By the way, we got Big Jasmo coming through with those CGF emotes. We love to see it. Nice. And still picking this up. BobDole is going. No, things are going to be pretty much tied up. Okay. All right, GeeStar calling the homie, though. Not going to get much damage out of that one. BobDole trying to mix again. You know that overhead or that grab is coming. All right, I got you, Elson. Thank you so much. However, GeeStar still trying to play at range. Nice. Okay. And I wonder, by the way, what the rest of this bracket is going to be coming out with. And right now, it's going to be BobDole. He is putting on a vintage performance. The viewers absolutely loving this. By the way, Archon, what's going on? Welcome back to the stream. Nice. All right, this is now going to be some serious pressure again coming from GeeStar. Can he take the lead with this bad boy? Does he have the technology? All right, one more mixy mix though, but he drops it, does GeeStar. Coming on through again. Poopa, what's up, my goat? And both these two trying to figure this out right in front of our very eyes. And if you are just tuning in, this is the very first match here at Vape's Fight Night. Let's see it, GeeStar. He does have the lead, but you gotta wonder how long that's gonna be for. GeeStar, why are you chasing? You got the lead. What are you doing? Acolyte, great to see you in the house. Shout out to you. Shout outs to the CIS region. Gonna be breaking away, GeeStar. Just run. He can't. Just flawless block everything. Wait. And that overhead not gonna hit it. He bet it all on that. GeeStar not pressing a button. Very solid defense. And this will be the round 4, 3. Just run. Just run. That's Ghostface specialty. And he times him out. Very long rounds, but GeeStar gonna be coming out on the winning end of that one. All right, BobDole, though, not going to be shaken here, but those overheads going to continue to land. GeeStar blocking low a little bit too often. However, though, these Sonya rings going to be continuing to eat you alive, and BobDole now is going to be peppering you from space. And BobDole is going absolutely Captain Insano mode with these rockets. It is going to be no secret. And try to catch him out of the air, though, gets hit. That armor going to be active, and BobDole now going to catch him out of the air. GeeStar is in some trouble. Nice. Okay. All right, though, this is looking like a very successful round for GeeStar. However, though, we are going to be getting some throw combos thanks to that tremor, getting him on the board, going up, down, and all around, and slashing, gashing, cutting a hole in your ass. And this is going to be some solar plex stabbies as well. Okay. And he's got him. He's got him. Going for another mix. He had it. By the way, Ahmad, what's going on? Welcome back to the event. Great to see you. All right, though, more and more rockets on the loose. How do you avoid this? And one more is all it's gonna take for BobDole to seal this round. Nice. All right, and look at this though. Here comes GeeStar. Needs one more hit. Can he get one more opening? And that's gonna be some chip-opotamus, and that's gonna be the round. Ahmad saying they're back from vacation. We cannot wait to see you in those sign-up channels. All right. However, though, only one of these two is going to be moving on. It is currently Big BobDole with that lead. All right, by the way, putting so many rockets, putting so many gunshots on the loose. Nice. And what is going to be moved from here? He just wakes up with buttons. And the GeeStar over here saying he wants uppies. And he's going aerial with that one. Nice overhead again from the Sonya. GeeStar is in some trouble here, chat. BobDole, what is he gonna do from here? Overhead is gonna be good. Oh, but the miss is on the conversion. This is a tough space to conquer. How does Ghostface win this matchup? You got to wonder. Down one into the Sonya rings. And this should be all she wrote. Chat, one more is all BobDole needs, and he gets it. And that is gonna be a 2-0 score for Big BobDole. This Sektor piece is lighting this place up like a Christmas tree, chat.
Sektor win.
And let's go take a look at that replay if we can. By the way, Spawn and Phuneral, go ahead and send out those invites. Let's do it. By the way, Acolyte says I'll sign up in the next fight night. Let's get you in here, Acolyte. It's been way too long. We gotta get that Johnny Farah piece back on the board. However, chat, on to the next match. Let's do it. It's GeeStar and BobDole. And now GeeStar has his workout cut for him, and let's get to it.
Sektor, General show.
All right, chat, here we go. It's going to be GeeStar now coming out with something a little bit maybe higher on that tier list, bringing out the General Shao. Let's see if he's got those. Let's see if he's got those, man. Let's see if he's got those. Let's get to it.
Round one, fight.
All right, shout outs to the chat, shout outs to the community, shout out to everybody involved. This started up in the building as well. However, though, that is going to be a decent punish coming from BobDole, trying to put that ice armor on. However, you got to wonder how long it's going to work for. And now BobDole continuing to zone from space. All right, though, the rocket's still on the loose. However, though, it is well established that we love to watch this Call of Duty style. By the way, Sephia, welcome to the event. How you been? Or Sifa. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Welcome. Plus frames. Nice. All right, BobDole going to continue to catch GeeStar with that mid into the low. However, now GeeStar's got to make a decision, though. He's got to find a way in. BobDole will not let this happen overhead again. Okay. And let's see it, though. Let's see which one of these two is going to have the edge. Nice down one. And then GeeStar trying to get those plus frames, and he will. Another one to go with it, though. No whiff punish. But there's going to be some armor coming from BobDole. All right, though, the overhead not going to be connecting. Nice. Dan 2. And now GeeStar, though, he's got to get some damage. He's been having such a tough time. By the way, Tiger Paws, what's going on? Saying, you know what? You got to come out with something better than the Ghostface, because right now it is getting all zoned out, but so is the General Shao. The overhead's good. GeeStar, he would need to be perfect. Jump in again and again. Nice, and the down one is going to seal it just like that. What's going on, Big Diz? Great to see you.
Round two, fight.
All right, let's continue this action. Let's see if it's going to be a 3-0 sweep coming from the biggest of BobDoles in the building. However, GeeStar again is going through it right now. He is in some solid trouble. GeeStar would have to go on a run here. He's got to go on that reverse 3-0. Is it possible? Absolutely. Nice low. Nice. Oh, but he catches it and into it and throw as well. And let's see, can BobDole ice this? Quite literally. The jump in, but the up block punish. And GeeStar's in all sorts of trouble. Holy moly. And look at this, the rocket pressure again and again. The down one and the low to go with it. And this could be BobDole pulling away. Acolyte, yeah, if somebody doesn't show up, I got you. Maybe, if it's for the right region. However, though, this is GeeStar, but these throws continuing to eat him alive. And chat, this is BobDole trying to put the finishing touches on. And that is going to do it. That is going to be a clean 3-0. GG's again. BobDole going to move on to the semifinals. Oh, that, I don't know. Why not? Either way, chat, that is going to be BobDole moving on to the semifinals. Chat, coming up next is, let me actually show you what we got coming up next. This is now going to be us going to set number 2, and let's do it and let's go. But first, we gotta go take a look at that immediate replay. And GeeStar, thank you so much for playing, brother. I know it did not go the way you wanted it to, but still, we hope to see you in tomorrow's event, and we hope to see you in many, many more. Chat, coming up next is going to be our next match. Let me show you exactly what it is we are talking about. This is, oh wait, wrong scene. All right, now we're good. Now we're good, chat. This is now going to be none other than BobDole moving on to the semifinals. Chat, coming up next is going to be SpawnX, one of the best Ashrahs you've ever seen, taking on Big Phuneral. And he has a plethora of characters that he plays. Let's get to it. Let's send it your way, and let's do the damn thing. On to the next match we go. Please make sure those invites are sent out, and let's go. All right, let's do it, though. That Scorpion piece. What is Spawn coming out with?
Scorpion.
All right, coming out with the Scorpion. What is Spawn going to select? This is an interesting question.
Ashrah.
He's going to try it. He's going to try it. He's going to say, you know what? Let me see if I can win with my best character. What a wise decision. Either way, on to game number 2 we go. Chad, let's do it.
All evil destroyed.
That fire burns within me too.
And by the way, Dairyman, what's going on, brother? Welcome back to the stream. All right, Chad, let's do this damn thing. Let's send it your way. This is going to be set number 2. Let's see if Phuneral can take out Spawn, or if it's going to be vice versa, the down one into the grab. However, Scorpion Shujinko's a very woke selection. Nice grab. All right, going to be throwing him up immediately into the air. By the way, low tier loyalist, Blue Pole, and Banish. Good to see each and every one of you in the house. There is going to be some brilliant use of that flash parry armor. Nice, though. Spoon trying to cook from here. Can he get it done? That's going to be a punish coming from Spawn. Spawn going airbound. And by the way, Christy, good to see you. It's actually been a little while. Spawn taking this one up to the air. Oh, he catches him. And now it's going to be all Phuneral. And Phuneral trying to bring this all the way back. He will have the lead. And Spawn going through it. And Lagostack, what's going on? Thank you so much for the follow. However, though, this does appear to be Phuneral with the lead, at least for now. Spawn, he needs one more conversion. Is he going to get a nice grab? He will take the lead. Good. And by the way, Fire King's up in the building. Great to see you. There's a nice grab coming from Big Phuneral. What is going to be the move from here? The spin to win. And that's going to be all Phuneral on round number 1. Very close, I might add.
Round 2. Fight.
All right, though. However, though, more stuff coming your way. Spawn going to take the lead. Beautiful Movado pressure. Going aerial. It looks like Phuneral wants some uppies. Nice low. Double low. The double dip. However, though, Phuneral has been killing Spawn with these grabs. The dark stance. Good pickup from Spawn. And Spawn with a significant lead, though. Phuneral, what does he do from here? The down one. Forward 3. And these two are testing each other to make sure they are blocking overhead. It's going to nail him. Nice. Spawn is close, however, it does appear Phuneral is gaining some momentum. He still does own, though roundly Spawn needs just one more hit, and there it is. And those Movado conversions are sick, Bluepool, to your point. And however, Movado is saying, what is this? A center for ends? What are we dealing with? Good pickup from Spawn. Does he still got those? Is he not washed? Chat, put a 1 in chat if Spawn is washed. Put a 2 if he's also washed. Nice. Double low into the, with the dark stance. And these two are testing each other. The low, nothing is connecting. However, Spawn getting that shimmy pressure, and you know Movado is gonna be en route to clean that up. Good, and I see everybody actually alluding to Spawn being washed. This might be a thing. Oh, Lagostack, you gotta do what you gotta do to win. Yeah, it's not always gonna be the prettiest. However, if it is effective, then we do not mind it. However, Spawn is close to finishing this. Wait a minute, though. And what is Phuneral going to do? This, he needs one more. And this is gonna be Spawn with the 1-0 score.
Finish him.
And Spawn going back to his roots. I wonder what inspired him to do that. Either way, that will be a 1-0 on the board just like that. And to see some Ashrah gameplay, it has been way, way too long. However, chat, onto the replay. Let's send it your way. And Banish Brawl saying he's got to come off the Shujinko. I might not disagree with that. We do know what Farah does bring to the Scorpion matchup. However, Spawn's still going to be enjoying that 1-0 lead. Let's send it back your direction, and then let's get going. All right, let's keep the energy high, let's keep the action high, and let's keep this rolling. This is going to be Phuneral again, coming out of BBR, and Spawn coming out of XRO, two very, very talented EU clans.
You will aid us in Earthrealm's defense.
Whatever's needed.
However, let's make this happen. Let's see if Spawn has got those. Going to be going to a much more well-lit arena, and let's see who is going to be taking game number 2. By the way, Platinum Raid in the building. What's going on? Platinum, you might be right about that. You might not be wrong about anything. However, though, we're waking up with buns, and it is going to be the Scorpion Sektor. Ugh. I don't know how I feel about that, chat. Nice, though, trying to catch him waking up with buttons. Not able to convert into the Movado as it was not ready. However, Phuneral is doing a lot of blocking, but he's going to have to go on some offense, and this is going to be Spawn with a dominant round.
Round 2. Fight.
And chat, we are coming off a great time. We are coming off the hangover. That is that amazing women's events. But you know what? We are going to be doing a lot more of those. We're going to be doing a lot more of these. Make some noise for these players. However, more damage, which means more breakaways. Nice. The grabs as well. And here comes Phuneral. Finally getting some wind in his sails. He will need a lot more down ones again. What is this? He's doing forbidden strings. And that's going to be Spawn taking game number 2. Trying to speedrun this. And that is now a 2-0 lead. Big Kurzum in the chat. What's going on?
Ashrah wins.
Chat, we are hyped. We got energy for days. Here at Vape's Fight Night, we have okay, let me tell you something. Most streams have quality and energy. We have one of those. All right, and you can guess on what that is. Either way, let's get you back to the action, and let's see if Spawn can 3-0 this. Is this going to be our second straight 3-0? We will find out. By the way, Eggshell and ZayPlatz, make sure you guys are ready to go coming up next. And by the way, EBCov, I have not seen you in so long. Dude, I'm having an amazing stream, brother. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for supporting, man. Hopefully your day as well.
Janet K, the gateway.
Bihan can be redeemed.
And like no
I don't
other,
see
Tony
how
says
that's
Eggshell,
possible.
let's go. Very excited to see some Eggshell. However, he's gonna be taking on one of the best Peacemakers in the world. Let's see if that Sub-Zero is gonna be ready.
Fight.
And let's go, let's do it. Let's see it spawn with a beautiful anti-air to get us started. However, though, this is gonna be now Phuneral paying the iron price. Now we do see him switching to the Gen. He really doesn't like the Pharah. That is interesting. Not exactly playing the meta, and I'm okay with that. Nice. What do we got from here? What do we got from here? They'll walk up the grass spot, says thank you, no thank you. So I'm great out here for you, bro. Look at that, man. Eggshell getting some love. He will need a little bit more than that to take on Zay, though. But I think Eggshell is ready. I was talking to him in the VC last night, coming through from the Megan Thee Stallion tournament. But you know what? He is now full of energy, and he will have to do it. But right now, that's going to be Spawn.
Katusha senses dark.
All right, Spawn is now going to officially be on set point, and Phuneral has got to get something going. This Scorpion has not been able to tee up. Let's see, Chad, give him your energy, but here comes Spawn. And Spawn, though, he is taking him up and down and all around. That Movado there helping to clean up that tab. Nice. Spawn getting that shimmy pressure, though, at the end of the string. Spawn has got Phuneral locked down, and this looks like a Phuneral for one of the two players. But here he comes. And Platinum says 48, you're just typing numbers? Is this what we're doing? Good stuff again, and there's another raw spear to your solar plex. Nice, flawless block, still taking his turn back and Spawn. This Ashrah is looking pretty top tier. However, Phuneral, he might have something here. Do you catch that in the fatal? Do you spend it right now? I might agree with it. One more. And Janice should be in the route, and she is. Spawn is gonna have to break. He's gonna have to break, because here, wait, he's going for a reset. Phuneral with the lead, but he's trying to go for some guaranteed damage, but Spawn is going to call that out, and that is gonna be a gigantic 3-0. Very good read from Spawn to actually jump on Wake Up to avoid that Hellfire. A 3-0, and what an amazing set, Phuneral. Thank you so much for playing. My goat late rock in the chat. What is going on? However, Chad, let's go take a look at that replay and let's send it now your way. Spawn will be moving on to the semifinals. We will see how his run goes, but first, we gotta go down to the lower side of the bracket and see how that action is gonna be cooking up. Let's send it back your way and let's go to that bracket. And Locks up in the building, one of the better Ghostface you'll see in the scene, man. This is full of goats, man. You do love to see it. However, chat, this is now going to be SpawnX moving on to the semifinals. Coming up next is going to be none other than Sir Eggshell taking on ZayPlatz. ZayPlatz, one of the better Peacemakers from North America. Eggshell, a goated Sub-Zero, goated MKX. He plays a lot of Mortal Kombat. Chat, let's send it your way and let's get this rolling. All right, ZayPlatz. Gonna be coming out once again out of CGF. Let's do this thing. I got you, Mike. I got you.
Peacemaker. Booyah! Kung Lao.
Ooh, a little bit of lag coming through. What is this? Interesting. Lagosek saying, what is the winning player? It depends on the day, man. It depends on the day. By the way, I do see those predictions that have gone flying out. We do love to see it. Thank you again. Yo, True Frostbite, I've been doing amazing, man. How's everything on your side of the aisle? He said, go FBI mode. Platinum on, what are you even saying? All right, chat, it's ZayPlatz, it's Eggshell, and this is going down like 4 flat tires. Yo, Michael Garza in the building. Great to see you. All right, though, these two staring into each other's eyes. I believe one of them coming off a PC said, oh my God, his Fire Axe. So look at Eggshell right now. He is getting starstruck. Big skibbity in the chat. However, though, let's see who is going to be winning this battle of the zoning or the up-close pressure. You never know. Eggshell, by the way, making his debut here on Vape's Fight Night. However, against Zay, that is going to be a tall order. Zay, though, known for the work of his arts and crafts. However, that is going to now be Eggshell coming through with that Goro. Good stuff, by the way. Herobrine, good to see you. It's been forever. How you been? Going aerial, though, this is going to be Zay with a tremendous lead on this Kung Lao. And it looks like ZayPlatz trying to clean this up. The poke into special, and that is going to be all ZayPlatz with the round 1 win.
Round 2.
All right, pretty one-sided. However, it is now going to be Eggshell who's got to come through and see if they can get this done. The jump in, though, beautiful use of his own Jax cameo. Oh, but now spending some meter. He still picks it up. Does Big Zay. And CGF, I know you're in the building. Make some noise. Bears up. Let's go. However, Eggshell, though, he is getting countered with the projectile. The anti-projectile, I should say. Nice. 4-3 again. And now we're going aerial, but Zay still picking it up. Eggshell's in trouble. And now Zay, look at him. He's pouring it on. He's going to Captain Insano mode. Gotta break away from that, you better believe it. And now this is gonna be close, and that is gonna do it. ZayPlatz gonna take game number 1. And that is gonna be all she wrote, man. Putting on a performance, putting on a masterpiece. Eggshell, I don't have the slightest idea. However, though, what I do know is Zay gonna be cleaning that up, a 1-0 score. Let's go take it back to that replay. And Eggshell is just one of those things, bro. I don't know. However, as you can see from my graph right here, if you look to your left, you will see this Peacemaker going absolutely Captain Insano mode. And then I see people actually giving suggestions in the chat to Eggshell. Eggshell, I don't know, bro. I don't know. All right, though, let's do it. Let's make this happen, and let's see if Eggshell, he's got to now come up with a counter plan to this Peacemaker. What is going to be the option, though? He is going to be hunting for something. These two once again staring into each other's eyes. They going right back to that tried and true Peacemaker.
Takeda.
All right, coming out with Takeda, a much more, I would say, mobile character. No. The ping going kind of burr right here. However, though, it does appear to be good during the game. Katana, Jax, this is interesting. Let's see what Eggshell's got.
Win? Now that would be fun.
What would be fun, Earthrealmer?
All right, though, let's see it, though. Let's make this happen. This is Eggshell. This is ZayPlatz, and let's see if Eggshell has a better option here. Now, coming out with the matching cameo. Much different character, though. Still maybe a similar game plan, though, and he is just getting out of there. He wants nothing to do with this. However, that's going to be a big pickup. The Jax is going to be stopping that. Nice. All right, though, and you can see Eggshell playing a lot more different, like a lot differently. Now that's going to be a big, he drops it, wait, no! However, torpedo pressure again, Jax back up on the board. However, good game plan to get out of those DMs. That Eagle, though, is never going to stop. You better believe it. Nice. And by the way, Sifa is loving the katana action, and he absolutely picks it. Now this is going to be ZayPlatz retaking the lead. At least I would think. Right, though, and it looks like ZayPlatz has his ducks in a row. That's not going to be a punish. Dude, wait a minute. And ZayPlatz, what do you do from here, though? Good. All right, the Jax providing. Oh, he timed that perfectly. And now here's going to be Eggshell taking the lead. I don't know if this is a counter pick, chat, or if he's just playing that much better. However, you got to be smart here on the wake up. What is Eggshell going to do? Jax again keeping all those frames plus. And the flawless block from Zay. Wait a minute. This is not over. Oh, the force field just to get a little bit of separation. The Jax going to catch him. Holy moly, though, you don't want to get hit by any of these. And the anti-gravity again, but you're going to go splat, and Eggshell's going to catch him. Eggshell absolutely sniping him out of the sky. However, we are not done here, ladies and gentlemen. He said, can I register? Absolutely, you can. All you got to do is join the Discord. Be sure to get up in there and give us a one big hello. All right, though, again, ZayPlatz going to be making sure that lead is going to be in his direction. Nice. All right, keeping all those frames plus yet again. Jax is not going to be part of the equation. Got to be careful for that armor, though. Nice. Oh, but he gets caught. Can he pick that up? He can. Kind of pick it up. Anti-gravity is going to be looking good. For Zay, that's going to be a nice punish from Eggshell. And now Eggshell's going to take the lead. And Zay can't break. He's got to eat all of this. How's he going to end this thing? He is now stuck into the corner. Beautiful combo from Big Eggshell. Jump in. Nice low. And another low to go with it. Eggshell's gaming. The down two, he catches him. And now a Jax cameo of his own. Then Zay is gonna have to make a decision here. What do you do? This katana is relentless. Spend it, and he will. And now this is not gonna be Zay taking it. This will not be enough to kill. However, it will do a significant chunk of change. However, let's see it though. What is Zay gonna do off the break here? Eggshell better be ready, because there's gonna go. He just goes torpedo, and Eggshell gonna catch him right out of the air. Beautiful stuff. He made the read on that absolutely perfectly. And let's go take a look at that replay. Insane, these two going back and forth. Let's go take a look at that replay. That was good. That was good. Eggshell once again coming out of North America. So is ZayPlatz. However, the winner of this, between them moving on, will be going to the EU region, I want to say. By the way, Dar Iyer, great to see you in the house, man. Dude, it is so good to see this community every single day. Harold Bryan is saying absolutely that anti-gravity was robbed, and I agree.
Katana, Peacemaker, Jax.
All right, let's continue to heat things up. Eggshell now. What does he's coming out with the tremor. This is going to provide a lot more versatility to those combos, and that's going to provide a lot more combo enders now for Big Zay. And BobDole up in the building. We'll see you relatively soon. By the way, Figg and Kaizen, make sure you guys are ready to dance. Coming up next. To start us off, though, Eggshell does seem to have found a counter for this Peacemaker. How long will it last, though, before Zay himself begins to adapt? However, Zay spending a lot of meter. This is going to be some expensive usage. Nice. And now we're trying to zone again, though, but this is going to be big ZayPlatz taking that big lead. All right, cannonball right to the solar plex, never ideal. 9 out of 10 proctologist, not gonna recommend that. However, though, anti-zoning clone technology is gonna be up, and now he is trying to find his way out. Eggshell looking for any answer to that anti-gravity, but that should have been a punish, and it is gonna be a punish. And Eggshell finally finding a beacon of light here. However, Zay still gonna maintain that fantastic life lead. Nice grab. And slamming him right back down, not spinning that meter. However, Zay, what's the game plan from here? Tries to catch him, though. What do we do? What do we do? That's gonna be now Eggshell taking the lead. And Eggshell is pouring it on. Eggshell going absolutely insane. Eggshell needs one more hit. What do you do from here? And that's gonna be Eggshell officially in the lead.
It will be less pain.
Round 2. Fight.
All right, splats him back down now. Now Zay. Oh, the forbidden string Eggshell with actually the duck on that tick throw. Insane. All right, though, fans again going to be all over the place trying to level the playing field. And now Zay bringing this one to the corner. This is not ideal if your name is Eggshell. Beautiful tremor combos to go alongside it. Nice. All right, though, and another slamming him back down. Now this is not where Eggshell wants to be whatsoever. And look at this, though. Zay is saying, you've got to come to me if you want to make this work. What do we got, though? Jax to keep everything safe, though, tries to get that shimmy. The delayed buttons from Eggshell. What does Zay have planned? The low's going to catch him! And this is... Wait, no, not yet. However, the big splat is guaranteed. That is going to be the round. And ZayPlatz is going to be up, and we are tied again. This might have to be the thumbnail right here. We'll see. We'll find out. However, that Eagle's going to catch him again. And here comes Zay. And this corner pressure is looking exquisite, stunning, and perhaps even brave, the critics would say. Low, however, though, Eggshell's still going to be bombing on him. Nice up block. Not going to get anything out of it. And I don't know if that actually does counter that. He's looking for anything. He's looking for everything. Nice low. And Eggshell not attempting too many grabs here. You will see him, though, just trying to get that Jax on block pressure. But here comes Eggshell. Eggshell is going all over the place, but Zay is just right there, man. He is just out of range every step of the way. And now Eggshell has got to connect on at least one of these, man. Zay is going to zone you out from here. This is not where you want to be. However, though, that's going to be another connection from Zay trying to chip you out. And this should be enough to do it. Eggshell going to wisely break away. Nice. All right, gunshots again on the loose. Chat, this is not looking good for Eggshell. He's gonna have to be perfect, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. The down one into the sonic boom. Does drop the ender, but you know what? He gets something much, much better, which is a game win. Zay gonna go up 2-1. And Eggshell saying, we're running, we got it, man. Hey, Zay better win this set or else he's gonna have some heavy, heavy teabags coming. And look at them bickering in the chat, insane. However, let's finish this set out. Let's see if Eggshell can knot this up or if we are going to a 3-1 score. By the way, Figg and Kaizen, you already know what to do. Uh-oh, no, what's Eggshell coming out with? What's he got planned? Coming out with the Mileena. Going all the way through these Denian playbook. However, only one of these two is going to be walking away with this win. Only one from North America. And Zay says, do it for the homies, man. Do it for CGF. And let's see what Eggshell, what is going to be the plan here? And by the way, Damaja, great to see you in the building. And by the way, if anybody does want to donate to today's prize pot for the winners, you can do so right there. Never mandatory, but always appreciated. Thank you guys again for being here. And thank you so much for making us part of your day. However, though, Eggshell is once again getting bombed on here in the corner. Zay is going to have to, Eggshell going to have to find his way out. The low catches him. Beautiful ball roll coming from Eggshell. Nice, down one. However, Zay still again trying to pour it on. Catches him out of the air. I did not know that connected. Oh, but the whip. Zay was blocking, not blocking. Gotta break away, Eggshell, and he will. Eggshell still maintaining that lead. That's gonna be a direct punish. That should be the round. He drops it. However, one more is all these two will need, and that is going to be it. Eggshell, one round away from going to a game 5. Can he do it?
Fight.
All right, and here comes Eggshell yet again, and Zay is in trouble. This appears to be the character for Eggshell. All right, good defense from Zay. However, how long will that continue to hold up? The lows catching him. Nice going strike throw is none other than Big Eggshell. And a nice torpedo to your solar plex. How do you punish this, man? However, Zay appearing to be changing up those battle tactics. The tremor on the loose. All right, Zay now trying to bring this back and doing a good job, but here comes Eggshell, forcing Zay to break. He will not have that meter back anytime soon, you better believe it. Low. Oh, that's gonna be now Big Zay taking the lead. And now Eggshell not breaking away, knowing it's not gonna kill, but this one, you gotta break. Eggshell, a raw ball roll would seal this, and he gets it, but he drops it. And right there, Eggshell, he could see the game 5, but he dropped it.
Final round.
Holy moly, Chad, holy moly. However, though, Eggshell still does have another chance here. Going up, going aerial, beautiful anti-air coming from Zay. The jump in as well, 1-1, and that is now going to be a full combo. This is starting to slip away for Eggshell, Chad. However, this has been one of our better matches of the day. Nice. And now Zay trying to combo off that as well. Eggshell has got to go. Anti-gravity, can you punish it? The ball roll catches him. Zay's got to make a note of that. Got to make a mental note that that ball roll is ready to rock. Nice low, however, Zay blocks it. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful pick up the down one into the sonic boom, and chat, that is gonna do it. That is going to be a 3-1 score, and look at ZayPlatz immediately going rocket power. GG's to both players, and Eggshell, thank you so much for playing, man. I know it didn't go the way you wanted, but still, we do hope to see you into the future. That will be all Zay coming through with that win, and GG's again to both players. We only have one more match left of our quarterfinal action, and by the way, let's send it your way. Let's go to that replay. By the way, I see Queen Plays, yesterday's champion. By the way, Queen Plays, they are loving you on the YouTube. We got to get you in more events. However, we will focus on that later. We will focus on this now. Coming up next, Chad, let's take you to our last quarterfinal of the night. And by the way, it's going to be an EU showdown. All right, so with that result, it'll be none other than ZayPlatz coming through with a big win. However, he now has to keep going. Coming up next is going to be none other than Figg and Kaizen. The invites have already been flying out. Let's do it, and let's send it your way.
Takeda.
All right, let's do it. Let's make it happen, though. It is going to be another Peacemaker. Well, by the way, Kaizen not coming out with the Reptile. Interesting. Ice Sweat versus CGF. Where have I seen this before?
What do you know about it, jackass?
However, let's see what we got. Big Ice Sweat, though, with 3 players in today, the same as CGF. And by the way, I care in the building. Sigma King, great to see you. It's been forever. He said GeeStar lost me on 8 points. Dave, do not even worry about it, man, because you know what? We got so many more predictions coming your way every single day. However, though, putting up that force field, though, Figg now maybe stealing a book. I'm sorry, stealing a bit out of ZayPlatz playbook. We will see how this continues to develop. We will follow it closely. And now going aerial. It looks like Kaizen wants uppies. Nice. Oh, that's a big punish coming from Figg. Is Peacemaker the character of the day? Kaizen has got to get started. Down one, takes their turn back. Nice. All right, Kaizen, though, the poke into the special for Peacemaker seems pretty much guaranteed. And look at that, man. The crystalline not breaking, and that is going to be the round coming from Figg.
Round 2. Fight.
However, once again, Peacemaker does appear to be the character of the event. And Chad, I say this very, very often, but it seems to be true. The resurgence of Peacemaker is making this go crazy. We are seeing a lot more of this character. Him and Ghostface appear to be very popular at the moment. However, another punish coming from Figg. Kaizen is gonna have to get started. Big punish from Figg. And we are going left to right and center field on this, though. The low again, the tremor to keep everything safe. Nice. Beautiful stuff again and again. And wait a minute. Here comes Kaizen. Another grab. Is the cameo going to be able to help? Does have a scorpion right there. That's going to do a tremendous amount of damage. Another punish. Figg's got a break. No, doesn't go for it. Interesting. And Kaizen, though, still waiting here patient. What are they going to do from here? That's going to be Figg. He's close. One more. He's got to guess right, but Kaizen is going to be getting taken through the ringer. That is going to be a 1-0 score coming from none other than Figg. This Peacemaker, man, continuing to heat things up. Let's get you to that replay, and then let's send it back your direction. Figg, that's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. If only you were doing better. Once again, that 1-0 score. Chad, let's send it back your way, and let's see if Kaizen decides to pull out the Reptile. Let's see what decision we decide to go with on this bad boy. Spawn, he might be right on that. We might be right, but Kaizen still coming out with the locator.
Tremor. The gateway.
I have never met a dude who rocks whip swords.
Or me, a guy with a weaponized helmet.
All right, let's do it. Let's make it happen. We are here for game number 2. Now, Kaizen, gonna see if they can wake up a little bit and see what they can get started on Big Figg. By the way, Fire King's up in the building. Don't think I don't see you. Hopefully you're having yourself a great day. Zunit is even saying this Peacemaker. However, though, it's gonna be Figg once again in the lead. Here comes Kaizen, though. They gotta go optimal. Is this Scorpion gonna be on the way? Call him out, call him out. Call out the cameo. Not gonna spend it right here. Gonna save it for a rainy day. There's a big up block, though, from Sir Figg. Nice. Good low. And another one to go alongside it, though. This is now going to be Figg. He's going to be putting Kaizen in some trouble. The low. And another grab from Kaizen. This might be enough to take the lead. There's that Scorpion we've been dying to see. And now Kaizen in the lead. And this should be close. Figg's got to break if he gets the chance. And he most certainly will. That Scorpion going to be getting put to bed. Oh, the up block, though, but Kaizen calls it out. Whoa. Nice. Oh, Kaizen's close. Can they get that shimmy neutron? However, Figg's defense does appear to be holding up. Is Scorpion gonna be in play? And it looks like it will. That's gonna be the round. All right, Chad, things continuing to roll, things continuing to go. And now it's Kaizen now, starting to kind of turn on those afterburners. Good, and into the air we go. Oh, but there's a beautiful duck coming from Figg. And Figg is gonna be opening Kaizen up like a Christmas present. That's that one. The low again to go alongside it. And still pressing are going to be both players, but this is going to be all in the favor of Kaizen. Can they bring this back? You have to imagine, though, Figg does have a plethora of characters. He's got a whole Rolodex. He's just having fun with Peacemaker. Nice. All right, the neutral getting settled, but it is going to be Figg now going for a much more zoner-oriented approach. Not a bad idea, I got to say. Oh, but no, that's no punish on that. There's no punish. And that's gonna be now Kaizen. Figg is immediately going to break. The long lashes of Takeda versus the eagly of Peacemaker. What's going on, Hody? Great to see you. We're just seeing, hey, we're having an old-fashioned top 8, man. Good low, that could have been death if you would have continued it. What do we got from here? No, the duck. Can he break the armor? Oh, he catches him. Beautiful backstep coming from Figg. Both these two tied up. All right, the big boot. And wait, let's see who's going to be taking the edge. Down one from Figg. Not going up block on this. There's 10 seconds left. One of these two is going to have to make a decision. Nice low, but Figg still pressing. Figg never stopping pressing. It's like, I have got to take my turn back.
Final round. Fight.
Oh, yeah. Hey, COVID MK11 was one of the best times to ever be alive. I say it so often. Nice. All right, Kaizen still going to make some. Figg will literally do anything except block, but you know what? It's working. All right, Figg on the verge here. Figg on the verge. Trying to put this round to bed. Trying to put this game to bed, I should say. Slams him right back down and lifts your shield. Most certainly, there's a jump in. Kaizen not able to get a punish. That torpedo coming in raw. No protection. Good. All right, more gunshots on the loose, and Figg is walking away with this one. And another one. If he gets one more, this could be trouble. And there's going to be Kaizen with a duck for literally no reason, but we love it. Oh, but the ender, the drop, hang on a second. Down one, and a nice grab. Is Scorpion going to be en route? I do believe so. There he is. If Kaizen can get just one last one. The torpedo, the crystalline armor, the down one. And this is gonna do it, a 2-0 lead coming from Figg. And Figg able to do just enough to ensure that round, putting on that crystalline. Such a good decision, such a good decision. However, now it is Kaizen who has to battle back. Maybe that Reptile will be the answer, but I'm not sure. We gotta see what the Kaizen decides to come out with. Either way, we know what Figg's coming out with. That Peacemaker is looking pretty crisp. And do we get an all Peacemaker semifinal? Sign me up. By the way, Ra's al Ghul, good to see you in the building.
Peacemaker. Booyah. Reptile. Tremor.
Kaizen coming out with the main loadout. Will it be enough to take a game off of Figg? All you need is one. Just get started. Focus one round at a time. All right, let's keep the action going, and let's see if Figg can close this out in a nice 3-0, or if Kaizen does have the technology to get through this Peacemaker, that Eagling, of course, that Tremor. Oh, catches him. However, Tremor for safety. We love it. And Kaizen with those acid balls, man, gonna be causing a little bit of havoc around here. However, Figg, gonna be looking good still. Big Pro Stone up in the building. Nice, overhead chop, the back three. Figg, all right, Figg still maintaining that lead. However, Kaizen is mixing from space. We love it. All right, gunshots all over. And so is Tremor, those acid balls. It is a two-hitting move. You gotta block. However, Figg's though gonna try to be zoning out Kaizen, and that appears to be the game plan, at least for now. Oh, but he gets caught from the Flute of Doom. That's gonna be the round coming for Figg.
How weak ass was that?
Figg needs just one more. Can he get that last one? By the way, BobDole and Spawn, you already know what to do. Please do so quickly in case this ends soon. However, Kaizen says, wait, babe, I got other plans. Let me get this man. What is going to be the attention from here? Beautiful mix again, guaranteeing that invisibility. The jump in, though. Figg is trying to press. And he is pressing, but he is not getting anything. Houston, we have a problem. Aerial pressure again, coming from Kaizen. Now they are starting to get going. Okay. All right, anti-gravity, beautiful up block. That is most certainly going to be the round. And if I'm Figg, you definitely do not break. And smart man right there.
Stay out, Takeda.
Final round. Fight.
All right, up block. Nice. However, that low going to be catching Figg, and there's going to be a full combo. Now he's got to break away now. Wants that life advantage. Does not want things to go south, at least not yet. All right, Figg unable to call out these staggers, though. The overhead chop is going to be good. Now gets caught with the Movado mix. And Kaizen is starting to pull away. Kaizen is looking good. Oh, chat, can we get a game number 4? Perhaps a game number 5? Game 20, I'm down. That's low. By the way, GeeStar, great to see you. Thank you so much for playing today, brother. And we cannot wait to see you in tomorrow's action. Oh, but here's Kaizen. This should be it. This should 100% do it. And that is going to be Kaizen sending this to a game number 4. Finally getting on the board, and now finally solving that Peacemaker dilemma we've been having lately. However, Figg, I do wonder if he comes out with the same loadout. It's all good, GeeStar. Don't worry about it, man. You come through, you get your reps, and you live to fight another day. We'll definitely be seeing you again in the future. ProStone showing some love to the CGF boys. You do love to see it. On to the next game we go, and let's see if Kaizen can bring this back. All right, though, Kaizen. They're gonna come out with the exact same loadout, saying, you know what? I was close there. I can most certainly make this matchup work. But a game number 5, I have a feeling Figg would 100% switch.
Born of fear.
Round 1. Fight.
All right, let's keep the action going. Let's keep the energy high. And once again, if anybody does want to donate to the winning player today, you can do so right there. Never mandatory, but always appreciated. All right, though, Kaizen getting zoned from space, though. There is going to be some torpedo action coming your way. That is such a good tech, man, with that Tremor to keep you safe, basically no matter what. And Tremor right there in case Kaizen tries to press a button, tries to make a read on the fake Tremor. However, not going to get it, though. Beautiful combo starter coming from Kaizen. Figg trying to break. And now he's got to eat this entire combo. No mix there. Overhead. Keeps everything plus. However, Figg still pressing. Nice. All right, though, and look at this damage, though. Kaizen, are they going to break? Are they going to... They're going to eat this entire combo, or at least so it looks. And that is going to be Figg. Now on set point.
Always on target.
Round 2. Fight.
All right, nobody's getting blanked in this matchup, at least not right now. Figg, though, throwing projectiles all over the place. Eaglies. He's throwing himself, and there's Tremor with another big pickup. He says, is this the guy better than Honeybee? They're both pretty good. I don't know. You have to ask Honeybee on that one. However, though, Kaizen still struggling to get in, though. Can Figg close this out? Look at those Flute of Dooms, though, and he's going to throw something. However, that's going to be big. Kaizen coming through. Beautiful combo starter with that low into the Movado. Beautiful mix again, and we got torpedoes on Wake Up. And Reptile versus Peacemaker in tournament, that is cinema, chat, and I will most certainly be taking that on my bingo card. Nice. What do you do here? That's an up block, no punish though. But Kaizen with delayed buttons forcing Figg to break away. He will not have that meter back for quite some time. And this is gonna be Kaizen's round. Kaizen, 1 round away from going to a game 5.
Final round. Fight.
All right, Chad, though. Hang on a second, though. Kaizen, can they take the lead here? Oh, that gator roll not gonna work out, but Figg with no punish. All right, acid ball to get Tremor at least out of commission for a while. Stand 3 in case Figg is trying to come in, but I don't think that's what he's trying to do whatsoever. Kaizen, though, once they place their spots, man, they do get a lot of damage. However, Figg gonna be backing up. What are the tea leaves gonna read here? And Emperor Al Gore, what's going on, brother? You're in for some good quarterfinal action. Oh, Kaizen got a little bit lucky on that one. That was most certainly an eagly aimed for his solar plex. Jump ins, though, and Kaizen, though, he is having some trouble here, Chad. And another one, and Figg starting to pull away. That's going to be Kaizen's last breaker, perhaps, of the event. We will see. Nice pickup from Kaizen. Needs one more, at least one more. Good. All right, Eaglies again. So many things you got to avoid, but that's going to be a punish. Is that going to send us to a game 5? And Kaizen is going to let it rip. This might be enough to kill. This is looking rough. It's going to scale. He might be dead. He's dead. I'm calling it right now, Chad. No, he's not. Figg lives to fight another day. Good defense, but the stand 3 is going to catch him. And Chad, I want you guys all to drop every single emote you can in the building. This is now going to our first game 5 of the night. Figg getting tripped up there. Now Kaizen on the verge of a reverse 3-0. This is our first game 5 of the night, and this would most certainly be our first reverse 3-0 of the night. Figg, I think it might be time to switch characters. He might be coming out with the same loadout. Let's see what he decides to do, Chad. Make some noise. I see Big Plat. What's going on, Big Baba Frankie?
Reptile.
Big Baba Frankie, Tiger Paws, everybody going crazy. We're drinking on the job here. And Chad, we're coming out with the exact same loadout. All right, this is going to be the final match, Figg. This better be a good pick.
Round 1. Fight.
And if you are just joining us, this is what everybody calls cinema. Putting on that crystalline armor. Overhead chop, good low, and gonna eventually break that armor. You better believe it. Back 3, no good, and Figg right now is having to block, but good defense coming from him. Second and none is going crazy. I see you, my man. And Kaizen with a big pickup, and Kaizen with the lead. Who predicted this? One of the best reptiles in the world. Finally picking Reptile and getting some good success. Good. Back 3. Figg trying to press, but Kaizen is taking him through the woodwork on this one. Big duck, and Kaizen is, what is this? In the weirdest time to duck, Figg, I don't think he's gonna break. He's gonna surrender the round, and that is going to do it. Kaizen with their first lead in the entire set. Do we see? All right, nice. And Figg, though, he's got to make this count. He's got to make this count. And who is going to be moving on? 1-1. The back. Oh, he gets caught. Got to break away. You better believe it. And Dave is in here. What's going on, everybody? Platinum Hut, I see you. Big up block. Overhead chop yet again. And wait, the back three catches him. And here comes Kaizen, absolutely pulling away, catching out. I don't even know what to say, but we got torpedoes on wake up. That is what I know. And now Kaizen with the life lead. However, some anti-gravity, though. Gets out of dodge. Gunshots. And now Figg is in a position he would rather not be. He's locked into that corner. This might be enough. And wait, Kaizen with the drop. Overhead shot. Kaizen, the gator roll. Overhead again. And that's gonna do it. Kaizen with the reverse 3-0. And he will be moving on to the semifinals, where another Peacemaker is gonna be awaiting him. Holy moly. Kaizen with the 3-2. Chat, we gotta kind of relax a bit after that set. Semifinals is about to start. Some of the best matches you may see today. I do not know how this is gonna go, but we gotta go find out. Guys, and congratulations, Figg. Thank you so much for filling in on late notice. Let's take you back to that bracket. What a set, chat. What an absolute banger of a set. With that result, it'll be none other than Big Kaizen making their way to the semifinals. Let's see how this tournament continues to develop. Big Timo, welcome to the chat. I see you're a first-time chatter. This is now going to be BobDole versus Big Spawn. Let's get those invites sent and let's send it your way. Let's roll. All right, Spawn, he's been practicing with that T1000. Is that going to be the loadout for today? We will see BobDole gonna be representing I Sweat. And wait, I see a Conan on screen. No, I see a Natara. Oh man, YouTube's gonna be loving this perhaps. No, disregard.
Sonya Blade. Movado.
Spawn said I want to win.
Are you as nourishing as you look?
No.
All right, chat, here we go on to game number 1. And by the way, a huge shout out to every single person joining us. Thank you so much, man, for making these events matter every day. And if you're watching on the YouTube side of things, thank you so much for making it this far in the video. However, this is gonna be BobDole saying T1000, I eat T1000s for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, possibly snacks. And low tier why is Platinum catching some strays? Either way, BobDole still with the lead. Spawn, he's gonna have to find a way to get to that 4-3-4-3 mix. However, the raw overhead, no protection, and BobDole is starting to roll right now on Spawn. BobDole having himself a tournament of the century. He will need one more, and he is going to get one more.
Round 2. Fight.
All right, let's continue this pressure and let's see who will be bringing the goods. However, 4-3-4-3 into the big overhead slam coming from Spawn, finally starting to get a little bit of momentum. Gunshots again on the loose. Nice. Taking a big swipe. That's going to be a whip punish. And here comes Spoon. Spoon going to absolutely be marching him towards the corner. Spoon, oh, he tries to go with that raw overhead. However, Spawn going to be slicing and dicing right through it. And now BobDole trying to answer right back. This will be semifinal number 1 up to Kaizen and ZayPlatz. That is going to be a team kill, unfortunately, but it does guarantee us a CGF finalist. Make sure you guys do have those invites sent out, and Spawn is cleaning this one up. And Spawn, I truly have to say, inspirational. Who would have thought T1000 could do this?
Round. Fight.
And oh, by the way, Ashrah, hey, that's a good question. We don't get to see Natara too often. We do love the character variety. And now Spoon gonna be slamming him right back down the jumping. The Movado tech, I do love it. All right, though, Spawn does appear to be pulling away. This Natara is gonna have to get started, but there's so much mix coming his way. Platinum, probably not. All right, 4-3-4-3-4-3 into the big overhead. Nice. Oh, and the raw overhead. Here comes Big BobDole. BobDole, we have not seen him since that first round make anything happen. Oh, try to go for more Sonya tech. There's a nice grab. Spawn is getting mixed himself, and Spawn is in some solid trouble. That could have been it. And Spawn not building that meter nearly fast enough. All right, gunshots on the loose, and that could be enough, but Spawn gonna break away. Keep in mind, Natara's a teardrop catches him. Some armor, but Spawn was more than ready for it. That is going to be game number 1. This T1000 is looking pretty good. 1-0, gonna be the score for Spawn.
T1000 wins.
By the way, we just passed that 1 hour mark here of streaming, guys. Thank you again so much for supporting. It does mean the world to us, giving the players the audience, and you know what? We love it too. Getting back to the action though, T1000 gonna be what's gonna be on the menu for now. Let's see what BobDole decides to come out with. All right, let's do it. Let's make it happen. And by the way, Tiger Boss says, I cannot stand T1000. Let's see if BobDole has the technology to clean it up. And now we're coming out with something a little bit more zony bony. He says, I'll show you some mix. I'll show you some projectile mix, says BobDole.
We created you, didn't we?
However, I don't know what this matchup is on paper. I have heard Sektor might do well against the T1000. That remains to be determined. Let's find out. All right, BobDole, though, starting off on their winning ways. Looking good. Liquid Metal is going to be all over the arena. The jump-ins. And now, though, this is Spawn kind of getting eaten alive from distance. Beautiful zoning coming from BobDole. Remember, this is semifinals. 2 top tiers going at it. All right, though, more rockets on the loose. By the way, Emperor Al Gore, great to see you up in the building. How is everything going? And now BobDole appears to be fully pulling away. Nice low into the Sonya, and that's gonna be a dominant round coming from BobDole.
Round 2. Fight.
All right, though, down one's the lows, and a beautiful grab coming from none other than BobDole, still trying to run away with this thing, getting his turn back, getting another grab. Chat, these two are scrapping right now. However, that Sonya, again, beautiful mix, does not really come out on top, but he will take the damage. And Spawn is swiping from space. What has he got going on here? He is swiping like this is a Tinder date, but however, nice down 1. And now this is BobDole running away with this thing, man. Insane. BobDole, can he do this? Can he complete this? And right now, Spawn is whiffing in public. What is going to be the mix? However, beautiful armor from Sir BobDole. He is going to now knot this thing up 1-1, just like that.
Sektor wins.
So she is the T2000 model, says April. I can believe that, man. Built with some onboard weapons, so it would appear. However, that Sonya cameo is doing so much work. Now it is time for game number 3. Can Spoon bring this back? It will be BobDole with some very solid momentum. All right, here we go. This is now going to be BobDole taking on Big Spoon. Game number 3, will Spoon switch? What has he got planned for us, man? What has he got planned?
Sektor.
Oh, he's going, wait, no, we got a mirror.
Chameleon. Cave Mansion.
Well,
I won't be.
I'm ready
beaten
for
by
it. Let's do it. Let's see who's the better Sektor.
You will be killed.
Round 1. Fight.
All right, chat, this is game number 3. A bit of mirror if you're wondering which one is Spawn. He is the Sektor player. However, though, coming out with a different cameo, he does love that chameleon. He said stupid win cat. And by the way, if anybody does want to support the prize pool today, even if it's something small like $1, $2, $5, it goes directly to the players. Thank you so much. However, again, this is going to be Spawn actually doing a lot better with the Sektor than BobDole at the moment. And this mirror of all mirrors, man, did not expect this. However, though, Johnny's Mansion does appear to be where this will be played. Spawn, by the way, coming out of the Middle East, it will be BobDole. Coming out of the CIS region, I do believe. No, he's coming out of the UK. All right, jump-ins all over the place. The lows again, and now Spawn is getting come back on. Wait, he's out of the corner now. He's back in the corner. And Kaizen, this is cinema, as the kids would call it. BobDole's gonna spend that fatal, and I don't think that... Wait, no, he does it. Wait. He's going for one more. Spawn waking up with buttons. That's gonna be a punish, and that will be the round. Spawn is gonna officially take the lead.
Another round.
Round 2. Fight.
All right, let's do it. The down 1 to go alongside it, though. Nice. Oh, but that's gonna be Spawn. Spawn coming out with that white Sektor drip, and right now he is getting taken through the ringer. Reggie in the building, shout outs to you, and BB Art. Our jump-in's coming again. This will be Spawn. That chameleon is doing so much heavy lifting. It will be BobDole in the lead. However, that's gonna change. That's gonna change right now. I know ZayPlatz, hey man, we're just here. This is cinema. This is great. I'm having a great time. Nice grab from BobDole. Sir BobDole. He's a knight. He's a knight. He's a knight. And he's gonna take this round if Spawn doesn't break away, and he will not. Interesting. He wants to keep that meter going into game 3. Oh, he couldn't because the cameo got hit. I thought Spawn was making a big brain move. However, it was that cameo that did get sliced and diced. However, chat, a final round here. A Sektor mirror. What more could you ask for? Nice. Oh. Oh, a little bit of a whiff on there. I wonder if it's the T-Rex arms or if he was just ducking. I gotta go back and look. Over the jump in again. Beautiful conversion coming from BobDole. And Spawn is starting to get eaten alive in this match. By the way, Reggie, gifting a sub to Salty. Thank you so much, man. That is our first of the day. Much love. Thank you much. Thank you to this amazing community, man. Thank you so much to this amazing player base as well. However, this is Spawn now. He is starting to get zoned out. He is trying to do some zoning of his own. Much love, Reggie, man. Much love. And by the way, we're going to get you back on stream real soon. However, though, this is Spawn. He is only 1 away. Can he get that last one? This is going to do it. And Spawn going to light this place on fire.
Conflict is resolved.
And Spawn now with a 2-1 lead just like that, chat. And this will be now 1 game left. I'm sorry. If BobDole cannot cash out and send us to a game 5, let's go look at that replay. Let's send it back your direction. All right, I guarantee BobDole switched up. I do not think he wants the mirror. At least so I would think. Either way, we're going to see what these two Titans coming through from different teams respectively decide to go with, and let's see who's got the goods. Yeah, he's switching. He's going back to Natara.
Chameleon. Sonya Blade.
However, though, you got to imagine if if BobDole wins this, Spawn gets his choice. We'll see what happens.
I hope so.
Round 1.
All right, chat, once again, we are having ourselves a great time. If you're just getting here, this is semifinal action. By the way, Kaizen and ZayPlatz, you guys already know what to do. Your teammates, make sure you do get those invites already cooked up once it looks like this set is ending. Shout out to everybody joining us, man. It's been nothing but love, an amazing day, an amazing tournament. And Kaizen in the semifinals, only one of CGF is going to be going to Grands. We'll see who that's going to be. Nice. All right, jumping again all over the place. This is going to now be BobDole in the lead. Do we get another game 5? I'm here for it. Big punish from Sir BobDole. That is going to be the round. He is one away from giving us that game number 5.
Round 2. Fight.
By the way, shout out to everybody joining us, or if you've been here the entire time. This is going to be semifinal number 1. We have 2 of them. And then, of course, we have our grand finals, 1st to 3, every single match. Nice. However, BobDole still pressing, not giving up his turn. Spawn does have a little bit of meter to counteract that. Nice. The low again. And let's see what Spawn decides to do. But right now, he is going to be eating BobDole for breakfast, lunch, perhaps even dinner. Maybe some snacks. All right, Spawn is zoning, and BobDole has got to find a way in. And he does, but unfortunately, he's going to be getting stuck into the corner. Nice. Overhead, and another grab. BobDole's got to be perfect from here. Cannot afford to take one more hit, and he's not. He's going aerial. Spawn asking for uppies here in semifinals. BobDole needs one more. Spawn would not be able to break away. And Spawn jumping out of the equation, and that's going to be the round.
Final round.
Spawn is on set point. Can he close this out, or do we get our second straight game 5? Chris Jonathan, what's going on, my goat? Welcome back. How was your day? Platinum Hunt saying Havoc T1K more carried. Hey, man, you never know. You never know. It depends on the matchup. However, jump-ins again and again we are seeing on this beautiful Sunday afternoon here at Vape's Fight Night. Nice grab. All right, stabs the neck. However, that's going to be a nice flawless block. What can he get out of this, BobDole? He's got to get some damage. However, Spawn's defense looks basically impenetrable. Putting on that projectile parry, though, does get it. Cannot confirm on that, though. Nice again and again. Here comes BobDole. This is going to do a solid amount of damage. Holy moly, and BobDole is on the verge. Can he do this? Can he send us to another game 5? Spawn not able to convert with the overhead. What are the tea leaves gonna read? A nice grab says, get off of me, good sir. Nice. And there's a nice grab, but Spawn says, unhand me. And that's gonna be the round. It should be. No, Spawn breaks away. And wait, one more hit from either player will do this. Spawn with the grab. 20 seconds left. Another one. However, not gonna be eating that damage. Not here and not now. Gunshots to the gut. Nice. And wait, BobDole with a nice grab, and that's gonna be us going to our second straight game 5. Chat, I need every single one of you to make some noise. Spawn back up against the wall, 2-2, and this is gonna be the final game. Oh, spare guys, you better believe it. Game 5 is part of the equation here in the semifinals. And by the way, 2 top tiers, but you know, I'm sorry, Natara, not a top tier, but Sektor putting on an interesting performance. We do love to see it. And FireX, I knew you'd be here at some point. What's going on? All right, Chad, let's do it. Make some noise for either Spawn or for Big BobDole. Let's see who's got the goods here. And let's do the damn thing, Chad. This is game number 5. It is coming your way.
What a tremendous waste of food.
By the way, Kaizen and ZayPlatz, you already know what to do. You will be the next match.
Round 1. Fight.
Will it be iSweat? Will it be XRO? Moving on to the finals. This would be iSweat's last player. Yeah, this is iSweat's last player. They've got to go. However, let's see what Spawn can make out of this. Nice slice and dice, and now we're going aerial. The T-1000, one of the best characters in the game. Spawn, inspirational gameplay, I would say the least. Nice overhead again. Beautiful low to go alongside it. Nice again and again. Spawn is pulling away. And people are cheering on BobDole, but Spawn just going so much mixy mix with the Movado. That will be the round.
Round 2.
All right, Spawn, he is gonna be one round away. He can see grand finals from here, but is he gonna be able to make his way in? Gotta break away there. BobDole does not want to eat any more damage. Slice and dice. 4-3, 4-3, 4-3, 4-3, 4-3. Good. All right, Spawn does appear to be pulling away, and it looks like BobDole is in some serious trouble. Holy moly, going aerial, going all over the place. Is gonna be BobDole. Can he send this to a final round of the final game? The overhead's gonna connect. And BobDole is not giving up right here. He is trying to make this happen. Spawn, he catches it, but not able to convert. Overhead, this might be close. Does he spend the fatal? This is gonna determine a lot. It would scale. Is Spawn gonna let it loose? He absolutely is. And I see 150 people here. They want to see who is going to be our grand finalist for the day. Spawn needs one more hit, and he will get one more hit. That is going to be the game. That is going to be the set. BobDole, thank you so much for coming through and putting on the performance of a lifetime. However, Spawn going to be moving through on to grand finals. Chat, we got one more semifinals before we're ready to send you into the big one. Coming up next, let me actually just show you who's going to be coming up next. This is going to be a team kill, but two very entertaining players. Spawn, congratulations. You will be going to grand finals. Chat, we are not done in many ways. We're just in the middle of things. However, one more to send us on our way. Let's show you what we got. So with that result right there, it's going to be none other than SpawnX going to grand finals. Chat, coming up next is going to be none other than ZayPlatz taking on Kaizen. The invites have already been sent out. Let me set up those channel predictions, and then let's send it your way.
Peacemaker.
All right, by the way, and Dumb Panther, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. All right, who are you guys betting on? It's Kaizen and it's ZayPlatz. Only one of these two going to be making that walk to that grand finals.
Born of fear.
Round one. Fight.
However, you got to remember, though, ZayPlatz plays a very different Peacemaker than Figg. However, though, this is once again going to be United States to Europe. Kaizen coming out of Germany, and it will be ZayPlatz coming out of North America. I believe the western part. Could be wrong on that. Nice. And now going aerial. ZayPlatz looking to clean this up. Look at this Jack's pressure. Kaizen can't press a button. Overhead chop, but it is going to be ZayPlatz with the knowledge. Good grab. Oh, dude, love it, Dumb Panther. Hey, you picked it up, man. Hey, I heard it's a lot cheaper nowadays with the definitive edition. Hopefully you're having some fun. Who do you main, by the way? Nice jump in again. All right. An overhead, though, is going to be blocking that. However, there's still invisible pressure. Zay's got to find a place to press a button. Smoke, Kenshi, two very solid characters for sure. Smoke, I'd say a little bit better, but Kenshi still very, very good.
Always on target.
Round two. Fight.
Excuse me for one quick second, chat. All right, we are ready. Judo Master, by the way, saying you got a buff Smoke. Low tier loyalists coming through. Whose emotes are that? Those are mine or Mawaz. It's mine. Good stuff. We like that. We like that sort of thing. However, though, ZayPlatz still continuing to pull away, or so it would appear. We are in that tea house. And right now, the crowd is going insane. The chat is going insane. And we are going up. We are going aerial. Big spicy orzo. What's going on? Judo Master drinking on the job. We love to see it. Kaizen trying to battle back. If Kaizen gets one more confirmed right here, this could be a big, big problem for Sir Zay. Nice. All right, but Zay blocking where it counts, though. The torpedo, he's going for it. However, though, catches him out of the air, and this is going to be none other. Wait a minute, the down one. That's going to be a punish. However, Zay, he had the jacks in the background. This game is something sometimes. However, though, that is going to be another 1-0 score coming from Zay to start us off. Let's go look at the replay. All right, chat, a 1-0 score again and again. We are seeing right in front of our eyes. And second to none is saying Zay, he does not play. And I'm most certainly going to agree with that. However, these two are teammates. And you know what? I'm pretty sure they're having a great time. However, they still want to win. And Kaizen's saying, okay, what do I do here? What is the game plan?
Peacemaker.
And all right, Kaizen going to try to figure this out sooner rather than later.
The tea house.
All right, semifinals is here to stay, or so it would appear, chat. Game number 2 on the horizon.
Round one. Fight.
All right, the overhead splat coming from Zay, saying, Kaizen, you might try to, I'll give you a chance to figure this out, but not right now. Right now, I want to take this win. Gunshots on the loose. The stand 3 gonna be nowhere to be found. However, those ZayPlatz trying to come out with that up block. Nope. All right, stand 3 goes into the low. ZayPlatz's defense is so rock solid. Anti-gravity, but wait a minute though. Here comes Big Zay. And Zay gonna take another commanding lead. And Kaizen gotta figure this out. However, what do you do against this? All right, Zay gonna take back his turn. Tries to go for the up block. However, Zay not gonna be buying it though. Kaizen gonna get him in the corner with the Movado Mine. Here's gonna be their first big combo of the set. Kaizen starting to wake up in front of our eyes. Keep in mind, ZayPlatz will have a full stick of butter if he decides to break away. Back 3, and now we gotta break away from that. You better believe it. Nice. All right, forward 4 again, and there's Jax, and Zay is gonna be taking this, but wait, Kaizen still believes, not giving up just yet. And the up block and block. Oh, what do you do? What do you do? The stand 3. Does he spin the fatal? Let it rip. Let it rip. And Kaizen, he is going to be letting it rip like me in an elevator. This might be the round. I'm not sure. This does scale. We didn't see that last set. Holy moly. And he's not dead. He's not. Wait for the Movado afterwards. Overhead, plus range, but the stand 3 catches him. Kaizen and this Reptile have been going absolutely insane. All right, jumping. Oh, but the punish. The Movado, though, you can't press a button. Nice. Okay. The jumping, he catches it, but Zay gonna come out on the winning end of that deal. And Zay gotta march this one back, does not want to be tied up with Kaizen. If Kaizen's gonna figure this out, this could be bad news for Zay. Oh, flawless block. And you can see Zay kind of micro-ducking here and there. Kaizen does not want to take a risk on those grabs. Nice. Oh, wait a minute, no, what is this? A little bit of lag spikes, we're gonna let it rock. However, though, this is gonna be a dominant round coming from Zay. And wait, though, Kaizen not giving up. They would need a sizable amount of damage. They would need, basically, they would need to be perfect. Can they do it? Down 1 into the anti-gravity. That is gonna be basically guaranteed unless you flawless block it.
Final round. Fight.
And let's keep this rolling. Let's keep this going. However, a big eagle and a big Jack's gonna be sending you through the ringer, and Zay starting to pull away. And by the way, these two teams are these two players coming out of CGF. It is an up-and-coming clan. I know the owner personally. If you do want to join or maybe go for a tryout, it is going to be located right there. Be sure to join the Discord. Let me know if it's still active. Kaizen, though, now with a combo of their own, cannot afford to get hit once. If Zay gets any breathing room, this is going to be a giant problem. However, though, that's going to be, wait a minute, one more hit. And that's gonna do it. And however, I forget how much that does. I believe it's 5% guaranteed. It's either him or Omni-Man. Either way, Zay, the combo that never stops. He's still going. The best Peacemaker in MK1 is lighting this place up, and he is still not done. Does he get the brutality? Will he get it? He does.
All right. That might be.
That may have been the swaggiest Peacemaker combo I have ever seen. ZayPlatz on a 2-0 lead against Big Kaizen. Let's send it to that replay and then let's see if he can get one last one. Ben Dowshi in the building, great to see you. Dump Panda says, is this Discord server only for tryouts? That Discord server is only for tryouts. I actually have 2. I have one for my personal one where you can come through, you can game, you can do this, you can sign up, or we have the CGF one. My Discord's gonna be located right here if you ever do want to join.
Madam Bo, the team.
All right, let's do it. It's Kaizen, it's ZayPlatz, and this is gonna be going down right here and right now. Kaizen, we've seen one reverse 3-0. Can the T lead the lineup for them?
Round 1. Fight.
However, game time is gonna be now. Kaizen not gonna be a hit, but by the way, Batty Bo on screen. However, how will this cameo complement you? Big combo from Kaizen due to ZayPlatz's own cameo. All right, stand 3 gonna be nowhere near in range. That eagle gonna absolutely cut you open. All right, however, Kaizen, the defense is holding up, at least for now. The flawless block. Jack nowhere to be scooped. And the gunshots are gonna catch Kaizen, and there's an eagle. Nice. More on the board. And here's Kaizen, though. That is so unfortunate for ZayPlatz. Kaizen. ZayPlatz was actually turned around. Jump in. Nice. Oh, but there's a full combo, and Zay's got a break. He will have no more meter, at least not for a while. And Kaizen, they always seem to wake up in game number 3. Is it Peacemaker drunk? Just a little bit, but we encourage that. Madam Bo again, plus frames. However, a big duck from Zay. What was that? The duck. Kaizen is known for themselves ducking all the time, but it is going to be none other than ZayPlatz, hitting them with a taste of their own medicine. And ZayPlatz now going to be sending Kaizen full screen. That is the worst part about this. They're not dead. However, they are full screen. And wait a minute, though. That's going to be what?
You should have seen your face.
That is going to be ZayPlatz going on set point, trying to 3-0 this. Can they get it done? Down 1 into the big smash. Nice low, and a big pickup as well, coming from none other than Kaizen. They've got to get going. They need a lot more of this. Good. Oh, but Zay still trying to micro duck, but he's going to come out on the winning end of that trade. Down 1 to keep you seated. Back 3. However, Zay does not want to eat any more damage. Reptile and Madam Bo. Good. Oh, Kaizen's still trying to go through, though. That could have connected. You've got to hit that Jax cameo. Beautiful anti-gravity right in time. And now Kaizen will not get another breakaway, at least not until next round, if it is necessary. Got 1, and here Kaizen, he had it. Nice. And another grab, gonna be lifting that shield, throwing him right onto his back. Stand 3. Kaizen's gonna do a chunk of change from here. What are these combos? Madam Bo serving up drinks on the job, and chat, this might be the round, and that is going to do it. Kaizen needs 1 more to send this into some extra innings.
Final round. Fight.
All right. Nice. And these two still swinging, still testing each other's defense. Kaizen making an odd read there, however. They are now going to have to live with it. It will be ZayPlatz in a bit of a lead, and now an even bigger lead. Good. All right. And this is going to be ZayPlatz. He is really starting to pour it on. Kaizen, after this combo, will have to get something going. And Kaizen with the stand 3. The low not going to connect. ZayPlatz still trying to get out of danger. The low gunshot. And this is going to be 1 more hit, but Kaizen with the duck. This is going to be their final gambit. They've got to make this count. They still do have fatal. 1 more is all they would need. No, 2 more. ZayPlatz still does not have meter, but ZayPlatz on the verge of going to grand finals. And the duck, the down 1. And this should, no, he gets caught. ZayPlatz has got to break. And he's going to eat that. I don't know if I agree with this decision. He's going to go for the anti-gravity on wake up, I would assume. Kaizen has got to be frame perfect on that flawless block. Should he do it? What is the move from here? Oh, and he's going for it, and that's gonna be the big splat.
Peace, motherfucker.
He spent the meter on that. A very, very solid read. And you know what? An overall banger set. I gotta say, ZayPlatz and Kaizen trading, mixing it up, but that will now be ZayPlatz going to grand finals. By the way, ZayPlatz, stay exactly where you are. We're gonna get Big Spoon up in the building. And chat, let's go look at that last replay. I got you, Spawn, I got you. And Persepolis, what's going on? Yo, bro, we appreciate you coming through, man. Thank you so much for making us part of your day. That goes to everybody watching. We got 1 more match to send your direction. Let's go look at that bracket and let's find out. All right, so with that result, it'll be none other than ZayPlatz moving on to grand finals. Will CGF have another champion today, or will it be XRO? We're gonna see right now. We're gonna be lighting this place on fire, chat. We're gonna get those invites sent out and sent your way. Let's roll.
Peacemaker. Booyah. T1000.
All right, chat. By the way, Linko gifting a sub to Spawn. Thank you so much, Linko. We are 2/3 away from crushing that sub goal. Thank you so much again, Big Linko. Now, Spawn, gonna be going ad-free.
Round 1. Fight.
Thank you so much, Linko, and thank you so much to Reggie, man, for putting some subs up on the board. However, now here comes Spawn. This is going to be a very, very different task for Zay. And by the way, if anybody does want to donate to the prize pool, you can do so right here. Never mandatory, but always appreciated. However, though, big slice and dice again coming for Spawn. He wants to win this tournament, though. It's been a while since he's done so. Will T1000 be the character that prevails today? 2-4. Nice, the low again, and now Spawn gonna be going mix. By the way, the ping does appear to be holding up quite well. Baba of Rome, what's going on, brother? And this is going to be the round. I do think so. No, it needs 1 more. That is quite the bit of scaling we got there, but that's gonna be Spawn.
Round 2. Fight!
All right, though, let's keep the action going and let's keep the action rolling. Big breakaway coming from Spawn. Does not want to eat any more damage. Remember, this is going to be our grand finals set. And now Spawn really starting to go crazy. Nice. And another Eagle is going to be on the board, chat. Hey, great to see everybody in the house. Baba of Rome, T1000, Linko himself is up in here. Guys, this is a full stacked party, but that's going to be Zay taking round number 1. I'm sorry, round number 2.
This is my jam.
Final round. Fight.
All right, here we go. All right, 4-3, 4-3 though into the big tick throw, that overhead slam. The Movado, the compliment as well. And by the way, second and none dropping the 20 bomb. Let's go. Second and none making it rain here in Vape's Fight Night. Thank you so much. And by the way, that is far from his first time. By the way, thank you so much, Second and None, lighting up that prize pool for the winning player here today. And a huge shout out to Second and None as Spawn continues to pull away. Holy moly, and that is going to be the game. That is going to be Spawn. Going up, he needs 2 more. Can he get 2 more? And by the way, Second and None, thank you so much. I see you still here drinking on the job. Thank you so much for everything you do for the stream. Thank you so much to everybody for being here. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for making it this far in the video. Still some more action, even though I don't know how it's gonna go. Let's get back to it. All right, corner bound and down. Let's go and let's send it your way. Game number 2 is going to be on the horizon. The question remains, is it gonna be Zay or Spawn? Zay gonna have to change up those battle tactics at least a little bit.
T1000, Peacemaker, Movado, Jax, living for.
All right, here we go. It's Zay, it's Spoon, and it's going down right now.
Likely.
Round
And Zay is saying laggy T1KW. We know what these events are, man, but we will see. However, though, that's going to be a big eagle coming from Zay. Zay, by the way, he is used to the high ping. He competed in a ton of Shark Tank events. However, though, this does appear to be Spawn coming out with some 4-3 to win. That's a good point. It's laggy on both ends. Nice, the low, but that's going to be Big Zay. Now coming out with the combo. Should be taking the lead. And look at these connections. Oh, my goodness. And going with some set play as well. Another combo from Zay. A tremendous lead. This might be close to sealing the round. 1 more will be required. Nevio, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. And Spawn looks like he's going to surrender the round. And now Zay coming out with a little bit more fury.
Round 2. Fight.
All right, though. Beautiful use of the Movado to go alongside it, though. Nice low, but that's going to be another punish coming from Zay. Really scouting these out. Okay. And this is going to go one of 2 ways. We don't personally know how this is going to end, but we do know that Zay has momentum, but there's Spawn. That jump absolutely saved him, and a giant combo from him. And now it's going to be 4-3, 4-3 City. You got to make the read. You got to make the read. But that overhead is going to, that tick throw is going to absolutely nail him. Breaking away on that one. Oh, but the down 2, Spawn with some counter offense. And Spawn is going to steamroll that round. That will be it.
Do you know John Connor?
Final round. Fight.
All right. However, Spawn with a little bit more momentum in his sails. Good. All right. Spawn the 4-3, but we jump out of it. Oh, but Spawn with a beautiful counter to go alongside it, though. Spawn is only going to be a few hits away. There's one. And what's going to be the remix on this situation? He needs about 2 more, if my calculations are correct. And wait, we're still pressing. Zay's got a break. 4-3. I'm sorry, the big boot. However, that Jax to help clean it up. The down 1, and now it's 4-3. So I'm sorry. He just throws him right over. Movado here as well. This will now be 1 hit away. He needs that last one. Zay's gonna have to be perfect. The teardrop and the Movado, a 2-0 lead coming from Spawn. All right, ZayPlatz, he might need a switch of cameo. He might need something. However, Spawn, who would have thought he could have got it done on the best character in the game? We love to see it. However, ZayPlatz now going to be seeing what he can do from here. Maybe a bit of a reverse 3-0. He does have big comeback potential. Let's go. Let's not waste anybody's time, and let's get you right back to that match. All right, by the way, Spawn coming out of the Middle East. ZayPlatz coming out of North America.
Peacemaker. T1000. Movado. Jax.
And by the way, Social up in the building. Great to see you.
I've iced aliens. I can waste a robot.
Not likely.
And by the way, Social having a great time. Herobrine ripping their hair out. This is going to be either ZayPlatz getting on the board or this tournament will be over. And by the way, Mate is loving the lack of tremor. You gotta love to see it. By the way, Mongruid, what's going on? Having some drinks on the job with us. And Chet, I don't do this too often, but I'm gonna have some beers with you as well. Let's all have a party. As long as you're of drinking age, of course, yes. Okay, still coming through and still on the run. Who is gonna be taking the spawn, continuing to put on the pressure? Nice. And another overhead slam spawn coming through. But we're gonna be breaking away on that one, you better believe it. Nice. All right, ZayPlatz, it's now or never. Good defense though, and another use of the Jax. However, not the way he intended to use it, most definitely. And Spawn is only one hit away from taking this round. Is he gonna get it done? And this looks like it should be it, and ZayPlatz needs to get together, man. He's gotta figure this out real quick and real soon.
Round 2. Fight.
All right, gunshots on the loose, and another Eagly to pick it up. It's now or never, as we've been saying for Big Zay. Good combo to get us started. He will need a lot more of those, a significant amount of those. Okay, good. And the Jack's trying to pick it up though, but that's not gonna work. And here comes Spoon. Slams it right back down. What are the tea leaves going to be reading from here? Nice. All right though, and Spawn trying to bring this one right back. Can he bring it right back? All right, though, the nice Eagly pickup, though. That's going to be Big ZayPlatz with the lead. Got to break away. Nice. ZayPlatz is close. Down one. And that's going to be guaranteed. That's going to be Zay's round. He will need one more. Get us to some extra innings. You know we'd love to see it.
Fight.
Okay. Slice and dice, and Spoon immediately starting off with that tick throw. Spawn is on set point. He is one away from winning that $20 sponsored, of course, by Second and None. Good. 2-4. Down one. And all right, though, we are marching on through. Good. Splats him on the ground, but Spawn gonna take their turn back. Goes 4-3, 4-3 again, and he just lets it rip. And Spawn looks like he is pulling away. He is going to be the odds-on favorite from here to win this tournament. And chat, what do we got from here? The duck coming from Zay. And he's going to let it rip, man. Absolutely saying, I don't know when I'm going to be able to do this again. All right, let's see. Zay, he will need a solid whopper. Spawn will now have Breaker. Who is going to come out on top? Another Jax. Beautiful mix. Another Eagly, and Jax again, but the Movado trying to pull him in close, not gonna get it. And another walk-up grab, but Spawn's a little bit too smart. That's gonna be the round, that's gonna be the game, no! Not just yet. Another Eagly, Spawn with the jumps, and that's gonna do it, no! He has Breaker, I am tripping big time. I am not seeing these Breaker bars. However, Spawn, if he gets it right, but that's gonna do it! That is going to be all Spawn with a 3-0 over ZayPlatz. Holy moly.
That's a nice
and
look.
inspirational to do it with T1000 of all characters. However, that is going to be it. ZayPlatz, thank you so much for coming through. Thank you so much for representing CGF, and thank you so much for making this count. That will be Spawn winning the tournament for today. However, with that result, again, that will be the end of our tournament, guys. I want to give a big thank you to everybody for coming in. Second and None, thank you so much for sponsoring that prize pool. Chat, we will be back tomorrow with a CGF-only event. Let me show you, though, who is going to be the champion of today. Is going to be none other than SpawnX, coming out of the Middle East and coming out of XRO. GG's to both players, and GG's to all 8 players. Thank you guys again so much for hanging out with us. We love you. And, guys, we will see you soon. I'm going to take a rest for the rest of the day, and then we'll be back right again tomorrow with some tournament action. Until then, guys, tell Arasani we said hello,